Webantu bam. Hayi ukube nginendondo ngabe senginikile. Nibahle, nicula kahle. You know your conductor must be a very good teacher. He's a very, very organized leader, I can see. You know, looking at you, you're telling us so much about yourselves. I must just tell you, you are very impressive. Excelling is with Kamales College. Oh, sithole kuhle. Hayi cha no, hayi. Siyabonga ke. Bantabam, thank you very much. Your music is brilliant. And I want to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the Consul General, Excellency Hashingra, who was the brain behind us having to even go to the Africa-India conclave already last year. And that is where we met with the leaders of the NIIT. And indeed, I do want to express our sincere appreciation to Mr. Rajendran, because at the time when this matter was discussed, it was discussed together with the Confederation of Indian Industries, CII, who actually had said that if we can take the training, and the NIIT is prepared to give us the training, but the Confederation of Indian Industries is prepared to take the top of our students for practical, experiential learning and attachment to Indian companies. Our province has seen major inward investments from Indian companies, collectively coming to billions of rands. And here this is represented in every year by increasing flow of goods, services, knowledge, and exchange of skills in technology and engineering between the two countries. We have heard from the United Nations that they estimate that the cost of redressing Africa's infrastructure deficit is estimated at $38 billion investment per year, and another $37 billion per year in operations and maintenance, which means you are talking about a price tag of $75 billion. If we want to deal with the real challenges in the country, we have to deal with the issues of poverty and underdevelopment. We have to actually build our own economy. And some of these are very important issues, particularly investment in infrastructure and human capital, are the main and most important areas of investment to make sure that our economy grows. We therefore are very pleased to welcome today NIIT as partners in helping us build both the infrastructure as well as to build our human capital. If we didn't have this kind of partnership, it would be delaying us a lot more. And we are therefore saying important for us today is to embrace the level of partnership and say to ourselves that this is the beginning of a new trajectory in the growth and development in the economy of our province, KwaZulu-Natal. That we have learned quite a lot from the growth and development in India, which started pretty much at the level where we are and has moved because of a huge investment in education and of late in ICT. Economies of countries that have focused on knowledge-driven development, such as India, are showing resilience in the face of recession. The most interesting observation is that despite the recession, the global economic downturn, in countries such as India and Brazil, there is a steady growth in the demand for test analysts, web authors, editors and content administrators, programmers, systems auditors, and technical support managers. Now, when we emphasize on the FET colleges, we believe that they are critical for skills development and therefore economic development and economic growth. We need to therefore maximize on the training in mathematics, in science, in engineering. That's why we've established what is called Moses Kotane Institute. That something needs to be done for the children of South Africa to be given education and capacity to be developed to their best level of to the highest level of their potential, so that they can see the country grow and change. That way we can fight poverty. We are saying this is the beginning of a new era. It's an era where we would like to see the growth in the training of the ICT, training in the first instance, but also as a first step towards attracting more industries in ICT sector to come to KwaZulu-Natal. And if people know, if investors know, as His Excellency was indicating, that you will find many people trained in the ICT, it will actually be one other additional selling point. We would refuse to succumb to the notion that the ICT will only be found in highly modernized economic centers such as in Gauteng. We are saying that people in KwaZulu-Natal have such an equal capacity to develop and have this knowledge, so that we can use the human capital as one of the attraction point and the selling point for KwaZulu-Natal. We have said we want to start with 10,000. When we initially discussed the issue with NIIT, I asked them, can you reach 10,000? They said, yes, whatever number you say. Now, they got me quite inspired. I want to say to you, the 10,000 is opening the gates. We want to see more than the 10,000. In the first 4 years, we want to see more than the 10,000. For me, there are two things that I'd like to see a child knowing. The child must be able to work in a garden and produce vegetables, and then they must also learn ICT. Those two things. That is where we must go, so that every child must not just get education, but must be computer literate. If we don't have children who are computer literate, we're actually pushing them further back, much worse than where we were during apartheid, because today's world is moving very fast. Because once we start, that sector, that particular industry is going to grow. And South Africa is strategically located because we're actually almost in the middle of the whole globe. We're actually halfway to the west and halfway to the east. And that means that strategically we are able to participate in times that are not inconvenient. Many of you, by the time you come to my age, you should be owners of companies that are running PPO, and you'll be telling a story that the kids in your time will not even believe that there was once a time when people didn't know computers. Now, where is the space for a child who cannot touch a button in a computer? There isn't. What is normal today will be very outdated in a few years to come. What is most important for us to now do is to make sure that we can make the computers, ICT, accessible to rural areas so that it does not become an urban phenomenon. That's the first issue. The second one is to make sure that we actually have to fight for the reduction of the cost of the use of ICT so that we can have easy internet access. So any one person must be able to afford using ICT in order to be able to do whatever they have to do. And we'd like to use this ICT to deal with the simple problems of poverty. And we want to say again to NIIT, we're very grateful, but for the FET colleges to have embraced the program, we are very, very pleased with that, because Moses Kotane Institute is an institute which is in Durban, located there, but again, they've started now having to create this whole web of partnership. Together, we can do a lot more to upgrade our children, and it's about building the potential of our children. It's about fighting poverty. It's about building our economy. It's about making KwaZulu-Natal more competitive, and it's about making KwaZulu-Natal to be the destination of choice for investors. It must be the place where everybody will say, I'd like to go and live in KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much.